Avoid these 19 success-killing habits. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We do things that hinder rather than help us achieve success, whether we are aware of it or not. Often, these actions have good intentions, but we don't want to face the obstacles that prevent us from doing so. Many of us neglect our blind spots only to discover our flaws later. So, how do we cut away the fat from our flaws and develop a habit for success? Recognizing these negative habits is the first step towards their removal. Below are some of the most common habits that destroy success. 19. Confusing the terms busy and productive. Let's face it, there are a lot of things you could do to keep yourself busy during the day, night, and weekend. However, are they the right things? The wild concept is that it's not the number of hours you put in or the number of projects you're working on simultaneously that determines your performance. Your performance is determined by the number of hours of concentration on the things that have the most impact. Don't mistake being busy for making progress. Most of the time, we make the mistake of evaluating our progress based on how busy we are, when we should be evaluating our progress based on the tasks that will have the greatest effect on our goals. While corporate culture may encourage employees to appear busy, true business success is the product of focused effort oriented towards long-term goals. 8. Seeking perfection. The pursuit of perfection is admirable in a perfect world and would be sadly rewarded. However, it is a recipe for anger and a huge waste of time in today's world. The desire to be truly present is the closest thing to perfection, says psychotherapist Mel Schwartz. We need to learn to live in the moment without being distracted by thoughts of calculating or classifying ourselves. It is in this precise moment that we are truly alive. The perfectionist, on the other hand, is usually not present because they are criticizing their past decisions and replaying them or thinking about their future decisions. Recognize when it's time to move on and establish practical results. Expectations that pursue perfection will either halt progress or waste resources that could be invested in better use. 17. Staying completely away from risk. Avoiding risk is not a smart tactic for career growth, unless you are paid for it. Some risks are simply better avoided. For example, being a Hollywood stuntman is just a bad idea. No fame is enough to endure all that pain. What we are talking about are calculated risks. They are necessary for learning and development. You will stagnate if you don't take risks. While those around you prosper, evaluate threats in advance based on their potential to help you achieve your goals and choose those that offer you the best chances of success. 16. Allowing fear to hinder progress. You can be stopped dead in your tracks by fear that induces paralysis, which often leads to stagnation. Fear ferments in the mind where negative images can grow larger than life. Start with a change of attitude if anxiety is holding you back. Instead of allowing fear to prevent you from making the first move, transform it into power that drives you. Most of what advances is actually the fear of failure. 15. Planning versus reacting to success. People have a strategy in place. They decide what they want to achieve, decide on a course of action, monitor their progress, and recalibrate regularly. You are wasting resources and time if most of your daily activities consist of reacting to other people's crises or whatever comes into your inbox. Reacting to emergencies should not be your technique for success, unless you work for the fire department. When you are drowning in requests, you know for certain that it will only serve to distract you from your goals. Use these 3 tactics: delegate, be succinct, or eliminate. Know what you want to do and tell yourself how far you have come towards your goals at the end of each day. 14. Fixating on defects. Imagine this. You want to be the head of sales, but you are very boring and an anxious public speaker. You need to focus on public speaking because it is fundamental to your success. Most defects, on the other hand, do not require attention or correction. They take time away from tasks that can bring you success when you waste time improving defects that are not relevant to your goals. Investing so much time in your defects is a recipe for mediocrity. Instead, you could spend that time optimizing a significant skill that you actually have, making it much easier for you to stand out and attract the attention of others who are making decisions about you. This is the most effective method for ensuring your performance. Get rid of the mediocre and focus on the superlatives instead. 13. I can do it alone. For some of us, the idea that we are omnipotent and self-sufficient is one of the most difficult obstacles to overcome. The most experienced people in the world know otherwise. They surround themselves with a tribe and form lasting bonds as members of a group of the world's best specialists. If you go it alone, the only company you will have is the things you don't do well or that you don't like to do. 12. Surrounding yourself with yes men. The idea of being in the company of people who are similar to you has a negative side effect that causes blindness. It makes you see the world through a lens that is impossible to see through, essentially creating an echo chamber for yourself. We have all seen bosses recruit employees who are just like them, and we have all worked with colleagues who are people who let ignorance take over the driving force of their behavior. The most effective leaders surround themselves with a diverse community of people who challenge their thoughts and behaviors, broaden their horizons, and illuminate them on even greater possibilities. Remember, your strengths lie in your differences, not your similarities. 11. Idolizing success. We all need people from whom we can learn and benefit. Problems start when corporate leaders reach an almost divine state. Many of them may have eternal admiration, but they are not you. No one accompanies you on your journey. This is your journey. Stop idolizing others, use their experience to guide you, but remember that no two people's paths to success are the same. There are measures and trends for success, but use only the parts that matter to you and ignore the rest. 10. Justifying instead of trying. Saying, if only, is the worst thing you can do. It can say that the situation is how regrets of things not done will eat you up and eventually stop everything you have planned. Define what you want to do and take steps to make it happen. I understand if you can't leave your job because you have to pay the mortgage. However, don't complain because you want to start a business and then say you wish there were no more desires. Stop watching Netflix. Okay, maybe a little Netflix never hurts, playing golf, or going to a soccer game, and use that time to develop your business and achieve financial independence. Alternatively, please shut up and make some moves. Let the results speak for themselves. 9. Low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. There are so many stories of people who have done the same job for years and believe they are destined to be unhappy in that role for the rest of their lives. You have the ability to acquire new skills and change sectors. It will be challenging, but what if you never try? It couldn't be worse than staying in a job you hate. Dispel your self-limiting belief that highly successful people are more talented than you. They are just a bit more fascinated. You deserve that role or job you have been eyeing, so go for it. 8. Need to get all the answers. When you are faced with a difficult question that you really don't know anything about, just say, I don't know, then go find the solution. You might not have all the answers, but if you are smart enough to surround yourself with inspired people who believe in you, you will eventually figure it out. You should aspire to perfection at all costs, but you cannot be disappointed if you do not reach the desired levels. 7. Indulgence. Indulgence is a bad habit that stifles our ability to achieve success due to distractions or indifference to the pain of effort. Laziness is the inability to function and complete a mission. Procrastination and lack of conviction are common traits of being competitive. You must engage in the necessary effort. Laziness leads to nothing and is a bad habit that you must abandon to be successful. You will feel uncomfortable throughout your journey. You will have a sense of insecurity. You might even feel scared. Get used to it and keep going. Discomfort won't hurt you. Self-pity, on the other hand, can. 6. Concern for people's opinions. Concern for people's opinions. Humans are social creatures. We are programmed to want to be accepted and connect with others. Consequently, we worry about others' viewpoints. This can also be to our detriment. We may be tempted to make a career or business decision to appear successful to others. This behavior has been proven to be a career killer that bends to social pressure. If you want to be good, you must have confidence in your instinct and follow your instinct. This can vary from what your parents, peers, or society consider acceptable. If you believe it is right, go for it and don't get distracted. 5. Too many excuses. Surprisingly, excessive apologizing is one of the bad behaviors that are destined to lead to failure. This is particularly true in the workplace. By doing so, you will appear incapable to your work superiors and colleagues, who may lose professional respect for you as a result. Limit your upward mobility. Avoid apologizing too much if you have this bad habit. Simply say you are sorry if you have made a grave error. Keep your arms and believe in yourself. If all else fails, at the end of the day, a man is only as good as his word, and what good is his word if he keeps apologizing for it? 4. Making wrong assumptions. Making assumptions is one of the most common bad habits that hold us back. We may conclude that our plans are unreachable, that they are unacceptably radical, or that other people do not like us or our approach to specific tasks. None of this should matter, but logically, where facts are lacking, assumptions are made as a result. Break this bad habit. Gather the facts first before jumping to conclusions. Instead of guessing, educate yourself. 3. Liking your job but not loving it. As strange as it may sound, doing a job you like obliges you to stay in your comfort zone. It gives you what you need but does not push you to rise. You are good enough to keep it, but your skill level does not improve. You don't learn anything new, you stay because it is convenient and you like it. This is a bad habit that holds many successful people back. To be truly great, you must truly enjoy your job and be willing to take chances to be challenged. It pushes you to reach your full potential. 2. Feeling envious. It is easy to feel envious of others as they achieve their goals and success. This is because they are achieving the goals that we set for ourselves. Envy is a bad habit that develops from nowhere as a result. It is difficult to manage. However, to achieve your goals, you must be able to suppress your jealousy. Instead of being envious of those who have succeeded, be inspired by their efforts. Allow their success to motivate you to engage more and join their club. Your time is near, my friend. 1. Accepting any project. You learn about accepting any project that comes your way is a bad habit that you must abandon. This is because taking on too many jobs can have damaging consequences. You might become overworked, exhausted, and generally unhappy if you take on too many tasks. How can you break this bad habit? Simply by refusing. Choose only what you are capable of managing. After that, refuse all additional offers. This allows you to recognize your limitations and successfully complete your tasks. Remember, it is okay to simply say no. What was your experience with the topic covered in this video? Tell us about it in the comments, we are curious to know. And if you have any doubts or questions, don't hold back. Leave a comment, even just a simple like would be perfect, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel to stay informed about upcoming releases.